Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest 8-second gaming, and in today's video we're going to be breaking down all of the changes that are coming to Kings Canyon in Season 14. Because if you were like me, you thought, hey, they're just adding Skulltown and it's going to be the same Kings Canyon, but no, actually Respawn has done a bunch of different changes, so we're going to be breaking that all down and you're going to understand everything by the end of this video. But with the new season comes a new rank grind, and if you guys are looking to hit a peak rank, then you need to check out the GameLeap website right now. Over there we have top level Apex coaches creating the best guides and courses, all to make you an amazing Apex player. No matter what you struggle with as a player, we have solutions for you. We have legend guides, gun guides, VOD reviews, and even videos breaking down your favorite pro players and streamers so that you can play more like them. So click the link in the description, pick yourself up a membership, or I'll turn this car around and we will go straight home. But okay, let's jump into these map changes, and the first thing that we have to talk about obviously is Skulltown is making a return. The big area where Salvage used to be all the way to where Octane's Gauntlet is now going to be Skulltown 2.0. Now there is a big wall around it to avoid some third parties, but a lot of the movement characters are probably going to be able to circumvent that, like Horizon, Pathfinder, Valkyrie, people like that, so it'll still probably get third party pretty heavily. Another thing to note with Skulltown 2.0 is it is not as big as it used to be pre-Season 5. It is somewhat similar with the 3 different branches of buildings stretching out in the different directions, but one big thing to note is that there's no longer big buildings in the center. The big buildings in the center didn't just offer a lot of different spots for loot, but they also offered places to play. There was high ground, there were spots in the middle with doors that your team could hold up if they needed to heal. So with the removal of those buildings, I'm kind of wondering how this area will play out. It does seem like there's a lot of more open space towards the outside of it, and there's also a few other spots for bins here and there, so it'll be interesting. I am excited because I do love Skulltown and I cannot wait to drop there again. Now the second thing that we need to be addressing is the upper level of Cage has been removed. Now Cage was not the most popular draw spot, barely any teams went there. The only thing that it really had going for it was if a circle was pulling towards it, then teams could play up top, be fairly safe, have sniper rifles, and just basically wait it out. And they had basically ultimate high ground on every single fight. They were able to see for a ways and could just snipe at any team that was in the nearby vicinity. So it seems like Respawn wants to get rid of that sniper tower and basically just cut off the top of Cage. The POI is still there, so you still can land there, get some loot, and then rotate out, but it will be losing a pretty decent amount of loot if they're taking the top layer off, so hopefully they redistribute it around so the loot pool isn't just completely chalked. Now the third thing that we're going to be talking about is probably one that's going to be bugging people the most. The hillside outpost that was between farms and containment is no longer there. It has gone back to being just a regular old hill. They took out that area completely. Now this one was actually a fairly popular draw spot. A lot of people enjoyed going there, but I'm pretty sure that the reason that Respawn has taken it out is because the third party potential between a lot of different POIs, mainly containment being right there. You could land there fairly safely, loot up, get some gear, and then make your way to containment to clean up the fight. Kings Canyon is very third party heavy, and I think Respawn wants to tone it back a little bit by removing some of those third party objectives, which is why most of the other changes are around that as well. All the other changes are basically to stop third parties and make the map flow a little bit better. So the next change is actually an elevated walkway above the river between bridges and the bunker side river. This will allow for easier access, not make it as choke pointy, and allow teams to rotate through a little bit easier. Speaking of easier access, the other change that they've made is in between Cage and farms. In the little choke point there, they have taken off part of the cliff to make the side access of it just a little bit wider so that teams aren't as forced into smaller parts if they're being third partied or being sieged there. One caustic trap was actually able to cut off that entire area, so now that they've made it wider, it'll actually be a little bit easier for teams to push through. Now another change that they've made is they've actually blocked the cave that was between Bunkerside River and Market. That's the one where the respawn beacon used to be. You could dip off into there and go to the side of the river. That allowed for easy third-party rotations, and now that it's blocked off, teams will actually have to choose to go either towards bridges or all the way around to like that no-name area. And also with that, the cliff above caves have been destroyed, so it leaves that open to the sky. What that means is Valkyrie will now be able to rotate out of that completely by using her ultimate. So if you happen to be in a fight in that cave, get third party, you can just Valk ult out of the cave perfectly fine and not have to die by teams pinching you. Now also in caves, there was a choke point between market and caves. Now the original one has been blocked off. and they've actually slid it to the west a little bit so that now it's more towards the Skulltown side. Again, for people that are confused, this is just to stop third parties. Before, if there was a team in Bridges area and they heard a fight in Market, they could get there fairly quickly with all the choke point access that they had. But destroying the original one and moving it towards Skulltown, it takes them a little bit longer and gives the team inside fighting just a tiny bit more time to finish their fight before a team shows up. And now I wanted to save my personal favorite change for the last little bit. In the center of the map, there was that respawn canyon that had choke points between farms, bridges, and bunker. Well, that has been completely filled in. That is now just one big brick on the map. This will make it so that teams have to choose to go one way or another if they're looking to rotate. They don't just have a free access pass through the middle of the map. Now, the reason that I'm so excited for that is because that was such a third-party heavy spot. I'm sure if you guys know, if you got into a fight at farms, teams would just keep showing up, and that canyon had a lot of the teams coming through it. KC has been the worst ranked map since ranked has really come out. It has had a ton of issues with third parties in the map just not flowing well, so hopefully these changes actually address it and fix a lot of those issues. I cannot tell you how excited I am to hop on and play, but now I have a question for you guys. What change in the map are you most excited for? You already know that I'm excited about that respawn canyon being filled in, so let me know yours in the comments down below. And with all this being said, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did and you want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Apex Legends tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Once again, I'm 8 Second Gaming, and I will see you in the next one.